of his window is the world rushes by. Arthur Robinson closes the glass and replies.
Hey guys,
Dream of
we are right now,
ballerinas.
very obviously in St. Louis, Missouri. We've got the arch right behind us. We are hitting the road shortly after this to go down to Carbondale, Illinois, right by Murphysboro for tomorrow's President Trump rally in Southern Illinois. Tom, how you doing?
Oh, great. Really excited. I hope everyone can see the arch behind us. We're in the arch room of the Hyatt Hotel right downtown St. Louis, right across from the Busch Stadium, home of the St. Louis Cardinals. So we're glad you're joining us. And the rally is going to be held in Southern Illinois at the Southern Illinois Airport, another airport. What do you think of that, Max?
I'm very excited. It's so much easier on us, you guys, when we're in those airport hangars. It's easier to get a better quality feed. It's easier to communicate with each other, which is better self-service in general. Plus, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's a perfect little medium. So, more of these airport hangars, the happier I'll be.
Absolutely. We just had another great rally tonight from Charlotte, North Carolina, where Liz and Alyssa and our RSBN cameraman James was there tonight. So great job today. And, they also did a rally in Wisconsin. It was pretty cold up there, but they did a great job there too. And it was a beautiful backdrop with Air Force One. And hopefully we're going to see some kind of, plane or helicopter there tomorrow. I don't know whether it be the Marine One helicopter or Air Force One. Or just having President Trump there, he always steals the show. So we're right now we're in St. Louis, Missouri, but the rally is right across the river, right across the Mississippi River into Illinois and Southern Illinois, which is mostly it's Republican country, independent country in the South, the southern part of Illinois. But everybody knows about Chicago, Illinois, and Chicagoland is where politics. Is the heart of politics in Illinois. Illinois has almost 13 million people, and 8 to 9 million of the population live in the Chicagoland area. That's the greater Chicago area. So it's a heavy Democrat state, and Hillary Clinton won the state in the 2016 presidential election by 55%. 55% to 38%. President Trump got 38% of the vote here in Illinois. So Illinois is a very Democrat state, and they're known for high taxes, high cost of living, high in-state tuition, and poor jobs climate. So, I think there's a change brewing here. Yeah, I know.
No
Illinois is
you guys over there, but I wouldn't want those numbers. As I sit here living in Alabama, our numbers are pretty rough too. But that does sound pretty rough. And that's really kind of the key for what we're kind of here for. We're here for the midterm push. The midterm rallies coming up in 11 days, 10 days from now? It's getting really close. Really close. And obviously the president is going to be pushing very hard between now and November 6th with multiple states coming up, Florida and Missouri. We're leaving Missouri tonight and we'll be back in Missouri not even a week later. I believe it's going to be like 6 days from now. Or we'll have a team in Columbia, Missouri, doing a rally here. So, these states with really tight elections, Ron DeSantis and Andrew Gillum down in Florida, obviously Josh Hawley and Claire McCaskill here for the Senate in Missouri, like we gave you that rally in Springfield not too long ago as well. So, these states keep coming up, keep getting really close, really contentious, and so we're going to be in Illinois for a congressional race. Tom, go ahead and tell the people who President Trump would push for tomorrow night.
Well, first of all, the governor here is, the governor is a Republican, ironically, here in Illinois. His name is Bruce Rauner. So Bruce Rauner won the election in 2014. He upset Pat Quinn, who was the Democratic governor here in Illinois. So, but Bruce has been, he is really an unsung hero behind the scenes, really doing everything he can for the Republican Party here in Illinois, trying to get it back on track, gain some momentum in the Republican Party to become more competitive here. So a lot of credit goes to the governor, Bruce Rauner, here in Illinois. for doing a lot of things behind the scenes to help the state Republican Party here in Illinois. But President Trump is here to first and foremost endorse a local congressman here in the 12th Congressional District, and his name is Mike Bost, B-O-S-T, Mike Bost. So President Trump is here to endorse him personally in Southern Illinois, the 12th Congressional District. Hopefully this will help him, this will help give Congressman Bost a boost, and win. Tomorrow is going to be 10 days till the election on Saturday tomorrow. So, we're down the stretch. We're in the final stretch run, and we're really close to election day. People are already voting. Early voting has already begun in a lot of states, and but every day is critical, and these rallies, we're going to see the results of these rallies on election day. That's the poll that matters. I know you like polls, Max, but the poll on election night is really what matters. And maybe, there's a lot of pivot counties here in Illinois. There's about 11 pivot counties. Some of the counties voted for Barack Obama back in 2008 by over 20%, and then pivoted to vote for President Trump in 2016. So there's a lot of pivot counties on the western side of Illinois, the northwest side near Iowa, and then the rest of Illinois is mostly independent and Republican, and then Chicagoland is heavily Democrat. So it's tough here, but there have been Abraham Lincoln considered this his home, Republican president. Abraham Lincoln and Ulysses S. Grant. Of course, that was many, many moons ago, but we also know that Barack Obama, this is his home state, Illinois. He was a senator here for a brief period of time, became president. So, Illinois is a very politically active state. Like I said, there's about 13 million people, about 5.5 million people voted in the 2016 presidential campaign. So again, there's a lot of people that don't vote. You figure another, 6-7 million people aren't voting here. So, the idea is to energize the vote, get people to consider going out to vote. Those numbers will go down in an off year. So we're not even in a presidential year. So the idea is to get Republicans to go out to vote, or people who are, supporting President Trump now, Democrats, independents, anyone who's on the Trump train. So to support local candidates like Mike Bost, Congressman Mike Bost, Bruce Rauner here running for governor, up for re-election. So all of these are very contentious campaigns. A lot of money has been poured into these races from Washington, D.C., and then locally these candidates, raising their own money. And we'll see what happens with President Trump. He also likes to go to these crossroads states. We're only 2 hours from Evansville, Indiana. We're close to Indiana. We're close to Kentucky. We're right on the border of Illinois and Missouri. So I call these type of cities crossroads cities, where people can travel, an hour or two. They'll drive to visit the rally. So I think that's part of the strategy too, is President Trump is hoping that people from this St. Louis area will drive out to Murphysboro tomorrow to the Southern Illinois airport. So we'll see. When we talk to people at the rally, we're going to ask them where they're from and see if that strategy is working, and see if we meet people from other states other than Illinois.
Yeah, Tom, you're exactly right. We've seen some of these states right on the border, or really close to other states, like you mentioned, Evansville, kind of right up on Kentucky. Wheeling, West Virginia was right there, right in the tucked corner with Ohio and Pennsylvania, two very big swing states for President Trump. We've seen cities like South Haven, Mississippi, which is practically in Memphis, Tennessee, right there on the border. And we saw Johnson City, Tennessee, really right there. Kentucky, another one of those states nearby, along with North Carolina and Georgia, really close to that area as well. So the president really has taken advantage of, look, these small towns are the people that love me, and look, I can reach multiple states at one time by picking a specific city. We're not going to see that next week. We're not going to see that in Fort Myers, obviously. But, you can't always get that kind of perfect geography, and he's doing what he can with it. And I got to be honest, I think it's working. I think we met somebody in Richmond, Kentucky a couple weeks ago who said that they had driven up from Louisiana.
Yeah.
So people will travel. We've got people from Kentucky coming into Missouri that we know, or coming into Illinois, my bad, that we know of for a fact. So, the people will travel. He will follow. He will get the people. He has those followers, and there will be no doubt about it. We'll try to show you guys that tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting to meet people from traveling far and wide to come to these rallies. Who knows tomorrow? I mean, we're having one rally after another, and they're kind of they're blending all together. It's hard to keep track of where we are, what we're doing, who we're covering. So, but we're working really hard for you. We appreciate your support, your donations, your prayers, and really helps carry us to the finish line here. Tomorrow's only 10 days away, so shout out to all the moderators. I see Sanity in the chat tonight, Sandy personified, and RSBN moderator, Mod Mom. We want to say hello to you and thank you for all your hard work too behind the scenes. So I don't know. Wanted to talk a little bit about, there was an arrest today with the bombings. Somebody's been sending packages, and there was an arrest today in Florida of a man who, was identified, and we're grateful for the law enforcement, FBI, for apprehending him. And we want peace. We want peace in our country. We want peace in the world. And it's no matter who's doing these acts, we don't call, it's uncalled for, and it's horrific, and it's not something that should be a part of politics. Politics should be earned, and people should not be intimidated or scared or violence. We condemn that. So we're grateful that the law enforcement and FBI were able to apprehend the individual today in Florida, and hopefully, we can, I'm grateful that no one was hurt, no one was injured either. But still, though, it was uncalled for, and definitely something that, just should never happen.
Of course, and there's nothing really else to say about it. It's really unfortunate that we even have to talk about something like this. It's unfortunate that somebody took it upon themselves to act in this way. There's really no valid reason to have committed these crimes. Like you said, we're very lucky that no one got hurt. Very thankful that no one got hurt. We're not talking about injuries or deaths right now. And, I think that at the end of the day, as Republicans and as conservatives, this is a time where we need to really be unified in the sense that that's not the way to go about things. We truly believe we have the better ideas. We truly believe that we know what's best for this country, and we believe that we have the facts, the numbers, the statistics, the science to go behind what we're saying. And sending bombs to the opposing party, sending to even just critics. I mean, Robert De Niro had one written with his name. Like, Robert De Niro doesn't do anything politically except yell at Trump on a stage in front of other celebrities. And the fact that that this guy, I'm not going to say his name, I'm not going to give him that publicity, I'm not going to give him this sort of shout out, but that the fact that this guy felt the need to do that is uncalled for, and every Republican, every conservative, along with all the other Democrats, as we know, should be condemning this course of action, and we should be really on the same page with that. And so, I think that at the end of the day, it's a really unfortunate situation that we find ourselves today in 2018 with a really heated temperature in our political discourse, with really pushing someone to feel the need or feel the desire to even intimidate another politician.
Yeah, I thought Governor Scott Walker, said it best, at the Wisconsin rally just a couple days ago, and just uncalled for, and terrorism, domestic terrorism, international terrorism, radical terrorism. We don't stand for it, and it's just something that it's it's just too bad. I mean, we're so close to the election, but I'm just grateful, like we said no one was hurt, no one was injured, but it was just too much. And hopefully that, people will still, go out and vote, still, the election's still going to happen, and people are still going to be involved. People are already voting early, so it's a good thing. And like I said, we're just grateful for the law enforcement. We have the best, police and law enforcement in the world right here in the United States. So we're really grateful for them. And so tomorrow, I've heard numbers where, at these airport hangars, it's hard to tell how many people, like the capacity. It's hard to tell how many people that they're going to be able to take in. So I've heard anywhere from 3,000, we've seen 5,000, and we've seen 6,000 in Arizona. So it just depends. There's some overflow space. People, these airport hangars are like big garages, and they let people, they do have space cordoned off, and they let people kind of spill out and be able to watch the rally. So we'll see how many people they let in. We know that there's going to be people left outside, like there are at every rally. So we'll see. Hopefully, I think the weather's going to be a little bit warmer than Wisconsin. I know it was pretty cold up there in Wisconsin, but
we're all prepared for if it gets cold. I think that I made that mistake in Richmond. I was freezing. I was also pretty cold in Lebanon, Ohio as well. So I'm prepared for it to be a little bit colder. But like Tom says, we don't know capacity numbers. I know you guys like to hear about it, especially the people in the area. You guys kind of scour the internet looking for, hey, how many people can you fit in just to play it safe? We wish we could give you those numbers. Like you guys probably saw that Elko, Nevada rally was pretty tight. It was a really compact area. And Wisconsin was even a relatively smaller area as well. I was pretty shocked they were able to squeeze 6,000. That was a big hangar in Phoenix. But, we never really do know. So do plan accordingly that they might only be able to fit 3,500 to 4,000 people in there. You might be the 5,000th and they kind of put you in there, but really kind of play that safe with these airplane hangars. I will let my fellow Floridians know that it is an arena down in Florida, about 7,000. So, Florida, you better pack that thing out because everyone else is going to be jealous that you have double what some other states have been able to get. But, we're excited to be able to kind of bring you another rally here in an area that, I don't know a lot of, forgive me if I've forgotten, but I don't remember President Obama going to these small rural towns very often. And so and especially like in these midterm pushes. So I think that the president coming to this kind of area in airplane hangars the media is going to twist it saying, Trump can't find a venue. I think it's the perfect venue for President Trump. It's exactly what he's looking for.
Yeah, and it's easy to fly in and out of. It's easy for security. The Secret Service, they make they call the shots, they make all the decisions, and they want the safest and secure place. And President Trump can fly in and out of these airports pretty easily. And like I said, they're crossroads towns, so they're not in major urban areas where, protesters can mobilize easier and make a bigger impact. It's kind of away from the larger urban areas. And maybe that's better for keeping the peace, so to speak. So, most people have to travel an hour or so to get to these rallies at least, and they do. So it's important to get in line early, get in line in the morning. I think they're going to start lining up and opening the gates at 7 a.m. So that's Central Time. We're in Central Time. So the rally's going to begin tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 Central Time, 5:30 Eastern. So this is going to be an afternoon rally. Yeah, the sun's going to be out, a beautiful fall day. The trees are already changing colors in Ohio, where I'm from. So I don't know, here, we really, by the time we got here, it was pretty dark, so we couldn't really see, but we went out for pizza, St. Louis, some St. Louis pizza here, and beautiful city. It was settled by the French here in St. Louis, so there's a lot of French architecture here, and we walked around the streets a little bit and trying to find our pizza place, but so it was cool. And so we hope you enjoy the arch behind us, the St. Louis Arch. I've been talking about a lot of it in my travels, on my way from Ohio to some of the different rallies. So here it is, and
it's my first time seeing it. It's beautiful. I'm a fan of it. It's pretty cool.
It sparkles, so we love the arch, and I didn't realize how big it was. It's as big as a skyscraper, I thought maybe the arch was just some kind of little monument, but it's a major it's kind of like some of the monuments you see in Washington D.C., like the Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, the U.S. Capitol, the White House. These things are so beautiful, they stand out, and we have a young country, but we have a strong foundation, and I think the founders, wanted to make an impact in building these monuments. They wanted them to last forever so that people wouldn't forget, where we come from. And so it's a wonderful thing, and we're living in history, and tomorrow is another piece of history here in Southern Illinois, and we've had many great rallies here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we're so honored and privileged to bring them all to you. We hope you're enjoying the rallies, and so we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see how many people will get in. We'll see who some of the opening speakers. There are a couple other competitive congressional races in Illinois. I know of one other candidate in the 6th congressional district in Illinois, Peter Rosekin. So he's running. He's a Republican incumbent trying to keep his seat. And the Democrats, like I said, they're pouring a lot of money into these seats. They're trying to take back the majority of the House, so Nancy Pelosi gets the gavel, so they could push articles of impeachment on President Trump. So we don't want that. President Trump, he wants to support the local candidates and help these local congressmen win. So we keep the majority in the House, we get more of a majority in the U.S. Senate, so we don't have these problems, trying to pass legislation, and then of course the Supreme Court nominees, such a problem, such a struggle getting them through. So, but if we have more of a majority, it's a lot easier. And so that's the goal of these rallies, is to energize the vote, get people to come out to the rally. They take pictures and video, and they go home and tell their family and friends about the rally. And like I said, here in Illinois, they have the Democrats control the House, the state House and state Senate. So they call them super majorities. So this is definitely a Democrat state. The Democrats have a 67 to 51 majority in the Illinois House, and a 37 to 22 majority in the Illinois Senate. So Illinois, like I said, they're close to 13 million people, but they've been losing some population here. Their population has plateaued, and they've actually lost a little bit of population. They had about 12 million in 1993, and now they're close to 13 million, but they're actually dropping. And people are moving to nearby states like Wisconsin to the north, Indiana to the east, and here in Missouri, because there's better opportunities, there's more jobs, lower taxes, and better schools. So people are sending, I personally know of people that have moved to the Indianapolis area. Indianapolis is booming. The west side of Indianapolis is where the airport is, and they're building brand new hotel conference centers. The north side of Indianapolis is where the really good schools are, and there's a lot of corporate headquarters in Indianapolis. It's kind of like an unknown, just a unknown gem in the Midwest. Indiana is very tax friendly, very business friendly, and I'm not sure if we even need to go to a rally. Indiana, Mike Braun is the U.S. Senate candidate there, Republican nominee. He's doing very well in the polls. So, like I said, we don't want to rely on polls too much, but President Trump knows this. Some of these states that we have visited before, they're polling really well, and he's going to other states, like Florida. He's going back to Florida where, Governor DeSantis really needs help down there, and hopefully that helps him because it's a very competitive race. So anywhere there's a competitive race, and anywhere there's a lot of money dumped into the race, like here in Illinois and in Florida, where there's a lot of opportunity to raise big money. So the stakes are higher because there's more money. And why are people raising money? Where's this money going to? And the majority of the money is going to television advertising, because the TV advertising, the price for television advertising is so high, it's price gouging. it costs so much money for these candidates to advertise on even local TV stations, cable, local TV. But that's where, their message is heard the most, the loudest, is on television. Everybody's watching TV. So candidates are dumping a lot of money into television ads. PACs are spending a lot of money on both sides to, endorse candidates or to oppose other candidates. So I'm sure it's happening, in Florida, in battleground states like Florida, where I'm from, in Ohio, and then here in Illinois, where, the Democrats want to, they're raising a ton of money and they want to keep a Democratic stronghold here in Illinois.
Yeah, we were in Arizona 36 hours or something like that. It was not a long period of time. And any moment the TV was on, whether or not I was watching some football game, basketball game, whatever was on, or if I was watching The Dark Knight Rises, political campaigns nonstop for state legislature, for Senate, obviously McSally and Kirsten Sinema were the Senate race over there, which, for the record, McSally has really grown her lead over there since President Trump's visit, and so that's probably why we won't see Arizona over the next week or so. But other than that, what I'm talking about is just with Ohio, lots of TV time going to ads, and President Trump had that rally in Lebanon attacking multiple Democratic challengers who had lots of airtime on these commercials. There's a lot of money in Texas right now with Robert O'Rourke challenging Ted Cruz. And so I think he pulled in a lot more money with just not a lot of time left, hopefully, and very likely that won't do anything. But, I think at the end of the day, the number one thing that changes elections more than money and more than advertising is the voting on election day. So whether or not you're going to do early voting, absentee voting, or you're going to hit the polls on November 6th, like us here at RSBN, make sure you go vote, because it is crucial. That's how these people win their elections, not by putting signs out in the yards and just claiming support. That helps. Having conversations and helping their campaigns helps. But at the end of the day, the votes cast are what determines who wins. And so, if there's a candidate you like in your state, in your district, make sure you support them by participating and also voting with pretty much now 10 days before election day. Polls do close at 7 p.m. in almost every single state, so make sure you carve out time or do some early voting in your district so that your vote and your voice can be cast.
Yeah, are you still registered to vote in Florida? I know Max is from Florida, I'm from Ohio, so we're both from battleground states.
So I'm from Florida, but I moved to Alabama, and so I moved to Alabama and began a process. I'm now an Alabama resident, so unfortunately I cannot vote for Ron DeSantis. My friends can, and my family can, and they very likely will, but I cannot. I will be casting my vote for Kay Ivey in Alabama's Alabama's governor race. For the record, there are a lot of people, especially the Democrats, want to talk about women empowerment. There are 4 of the 50 governors are women. Kay Ivey is one of them, a Republican woman being challenged by a Democratic man. So you're not going to hear about that, her being championed by the left. No. So Kay Ivey for governor in Alabama, Republican, is also up for grabs. So, I don't have a tight race between DeSantis and Gillum. I don't have a tight race between DeWine and
Cordray.
I was blanking on his name for a moment. Right. But I do have a governor race. I do have a representative race as well. Mike Lee going up against Mallory Hagan, who has a lot of money coming in from New York and California. Actually, she had a fundraiser with, I believe, Chuck Schumer not too long ago. So there is a lot of money in every state coming from other states. It is pretty crazy to see where all that money comes from, guys. So make sure that if there's money coming into your state against the person you support, you go out there and make sure that money does not influence the election.
Yeah, I mean, money and mailings are expensive too. Think about a postage stamp, and a lot of times, local county Republican Party or the state Republican Party, they'll have like a special postage, a discounted rate on their postage, but still, it's pretty expensive. So the numbers add up. When you send out a targeted mailing to thousands of people, it adds up really quick.
Yeah.
And even a postcard, that's a lot cheaper, that adds up pretty quick. So mailings are expensive. TV advertising is expensive. Billboards could be anywhere from $800 to $2,000 a month. The billboards you see on the road or on highways, and so those are expensive. And TV, billboards, radio, a lot of candidates, and then newspaper ads too. Newspaper ads are pretty expensive too. So you could put a little like business card type of ad in the newspaper, but a lot of people may not see it. But you want to do like the lower, a third of the page of a newspaper to make an impact. People see it.
Well, Tom, I don't know if you know this, a lot of candidates are advertising through Twitter and Facebook now.
Yeah, that's social
Sponsored
media.
ads through social media as well. I don't know the price range on those, but obviously when some of these, no joke, I believe we went to Phoenix for 2 days. All this week, whenever I'm on Twitter, I'm seeing advertisements for Arizona elections. And I'm still in Alabama.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy how all that works, but obviously someone's paying for those ads to constantly reappear. I'm seeing ads for my Alabama elections as well. Probably will be seeing ads from some other states that I visit, but I think that these ads are expensive, and I think that there's a lot of people right now who see how influential politics are. There are a lot of people who 2016 did not go their way. I don't know if you guys saw the Pod Save America guys on Stephen Colbert's show, but one of the guys, I'm not 100% familiar with their names, was just like, 2016 did not go our way. We lost everything. He got really animated about it. It's actually pretty funny if you ever get the time to watch the clip. It's pretty entertaining. It's like a minute long. But that's not the point. The point is they do believe that they lost everything. They are very energized.
Yeah.
They are very well coordinated for those midterms. They know what's at stake. They know that there are a lot of House seats that are vulnerable. They believe that President Trump is vulnerable through that. And you've got
just people are just getting bombarded with, especially if you live in a battleground state. But this is when most people, put their most money, the bang for their buck, into the advertising the last week of the election. So a lot of people, they're just living their normal day-to-day lives, and they're not really paying any attention to politics until the last week. Oh, I got to go vote next week. Who are the candidates? I need to start watching TV or reading on my phone or asking my friends or neighbors. So there's a lot of last minute, people that are just, they just trying to figure out who to vote for. And some of it is, name recognition. Oh, I remember this name, but it really is, people have busy lives, and we all have busy lives. And, but you got to make that last minute, impact. You got to make that connection. The best way to, really make an impact on a voter is door to door. If you meet somebody, if a voter has met the candidate one time, they have a higher, percentage of voting for that candidate because they remember seeing them. They remember meeting them one time. They know who they are. They know their face. But if they see a name and they don't know who that person is, or they've never seen their face, or they've never met them, they're going to vote for the person that they've met, regardless of party, especially, where I'm from in Ohio. So going door to door, reaching out to the voters, and that's part of the rally. The rally structure is to get people together. President Trump comes out, they have opening speakers, they introduce these local candidates to people, and it's like going door to door to 1,000 doors in one shot at a rally. So we're going to see the results of this. I don't know, I think it can't hurt any candidates, that's for sure. Candidates always want to be in front of a big crowd, no matter where, if it's a local event or anything. But, these rallies are powerful, they're making an impact. And, like I said, we're going to see the results of this in just 10 days. We're really close. And I don't know, any want to say hi to the people, some of our regulars in the chat. I've seen a lot of regulars there. Swoosh, we know Alyssa got the chance, or our crew got the chance to talk to you at the rally in Charlotte. So we're so grateful that we finally met up with you in person. I know that we're going to see some people tomorrow here in this Illinois rally from the chat room, and we're really happy to meet you. We saw Candy Smith, and at a rally, so pretty exciting. Down in Houston, it was pretty exciting to see her. So
yeah, for the record, love interacting with you guys. Unfortunately, for this stream, my phone is how we're streaming this. It is currently taped up to some of our camera equipment to be able to stream it. There's some issues with the camera that we're trying to connect with. So I would be interacting with you guys. So hi to all of you who have shouted me out. If you ask any questions, I'm sorry I couldn't answer them, but I promise I will be able to. The next stream that we do, I will be a little bit more prepared to interact with you guys. I feel like I'm kind of like boosting myself because I don't know for a fact if people have said hi to me yet.
Oh yeah, they have.
I know they have. I was just making a joke there. But I think that we have some of the best supporters, some of the best fans. Really, I mean, we've got people who come up and like, hey, I watch you guys all the time. There was that couple in Phoenix. The last interview, if you guys remember that one, they mentioned supporting Joe Seals and the right side since 2015, since the very beginning, which is really cool. We really appreciate when you guys do that. So if you're coming by tomorrow, you don't have to send us DMs or message us on Twitter, let us know you're coming. But if you see us, please come and say hey. It's very encouraging. We love it. Obviously we can't do it and we don't want to do it without your guys' support and your guys' help. So thank you guys so much. Really quickly, before we do kind of begin to wrap up, like we said, we have an hour and a half, 45-minute drive to Carbondale, Illinois right after this, so we're not going to stay too much longer. But really quick, your support means literally everything to us, not only just in the motivation and just the how we get through some of the difficulties we have with travel, with setup, whatever it may be, but also financially, we can literally not do without you guys. We couldn't be in Carbondale, we couldn't be in Fort Myers next week, in Columbia, Missouri next week, in the next few states that we're going to go to, and every other rally after that. We couldn't do it without the support you guys give. We are really appreciative of it. Remember that there are a couple different ways to donate. First way is rsbnetwork.com/donate. There's a portal that you can use to reach a couple different ways to donate to us. So the first and easiest way is if you are on our Right Side Broadcasting Network YouTube channel, you click on the dollar sign in the bottom right corner, click on that, cool message that everyone gets to see. You can donate through there. I don't know how many donations we've had tonight on there. I'm sorry if we missed them, but thank you guys so much if you donate through there. You can also donate through PayPal. PayPal we get a larger percentage of. If you want a shout out from PayPal, put it in the message for that donation. It doesn't come up on the super chat, and actually one of our moderators will scroll through and see it and relay it to Joe or to us, and then we'll shout you out. So it's a little bit of a different kind of style to get it to you, but if you want it, we will give it to you. Yeah. And also Patreon members, thank you guys so much. Monthly donations with some cool perks. If you're not familiar with what those perks are, go on our Patreon site, you can see that. And lastly, you can mail a check or letter. The last rally in Houston, which I really wish I could have been at. I'm very happy that you got to go, Tom. I was in the studio with Joe, and while they were doing the pre-show, or actually you guys were already in the arena at this point, Joe and I were opening up those letters, reading them to each other, and really kind of going over some of the things you guys said. Really appreciate it, and it actually makes a lot of the difficulties of the job a lot easier in retrospect when you kind of think of like when we get letters like, hey, we met you guys last week, thank you for so much for what you do, or I found your channel, really loved it, thank you guys so much. We even get like really short like sticky note letters. Sometimes we get really long ones too. Yeah. All of them we appreciate. Thank you guys so much. Moderators putting that in the chat right now. Tom can recite it. I don't think I'm gonna make you do that right now. but those are the couple different ways to donate. We do appreciate it. We hate asking for money. I feel like and it's not something I like to do. I'm an independent person. I really just don't want to have to ask for it, but we have to. And so we do appreciate every little bit of support that you guys give us, and we wouldn't be asking for it if we didn't need it. Tomorrow, I believe we are still doing the light box contest as well.
Yeah.
So also we'll give you more information on the contest, but there is going to be the contest tomorrow as well.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, and the letters, like Max was saying, the letters, it's always neat to see, people send a little bit, their business cards from, their local businesses and things, so the letters have a personal touch. We get some gifts too, so it's pretty cool to see. We really appreciate all of this love and support. I just wanted to say a special hello to some of the people in the chat. I seen Carrie Bella there today, DM and JC, always see them. Swoosh, we said hello to Swoosh. James Allen, Blondie. So good to see you. And she's a member, in our chat. Sandy Personified. Also want to remind you that the Walkaway March, walkawaymarch.com. That is a rally and a march this weekend. That starts tomorrow. So it's Saturday and Sunday. So walkawaymarch.com, and we've teamed up with Brandon Strack. The A is silent, so Brandon Strack, and he's organized this march and rally in Washington, D.C. That's coming up October 26th through the 28th. So we're really proud to be supporting him and working with him. So that's starting this weekend in Washington, D.C. So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of conferences, of course, our rallies, but we're going to be reporting on it. We're going to keep our eye on it, and we want you to keep an eye on it too, and look up their website, walkawaymarch.com. So pretty cool to see, and we look forward to working with Brandon at a future rally, as he's going to be one of our guest reporters, hopefully here, soon. So we really appreciate that, and we really love working with our partners like Diamond and Silk, and the Donald on Reddit, and the Patriot Soapbox, of course. So all of these great partners that we have that we're working with, we really appreciate you, and we love working with you. And so this is such a busy time of the year, it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on.
It really is. We appreciate you guys staying with us. There's a lot going on from a lot of us. I know right now CEO is at headquarters right now getting ready for the rallies in Fort Myers and in Columbia, Missouri. I want to say Columbus. Columbia, Missouri, at the University of Missouri's campus here about an hour and a half down the road from where Tom and I are right now. So obviously a lot going on for everyone in politics between now and November 6th.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you guys so much, everyone who supports us in that way.
And Todd Joseph, we met him at the rally in Minnesota recently. So it's good to see you in the chat, Todd. And Martha, my dear, another member. And Tammy Morris, good to see you. James Allen, he's in the chat tonight. Carlos. Yiling Tang, good to see you. Dr. Edna Lewis, you can't work for free. That would be socialism. So it's pretty funny.
That's pretty true too. I mean, I don't even know if you work for free in socialism. I think you lose a lot more in socialism.
Tawana Lynn, good to see you. Marissa, good to see you in the chat. Manning Luck, I always see you in the chat, my man. Always saying hello. Thanks a lot, Manning Luck. We appreciate it. And I stopped in Indianapolis today, got a haircut. Went to the barber there. Chad's Barbershop in Indianapolis, probably one of the best places to get your haircut in the state of Indiana. It's just a great place. The place was packed. So I was running a little bit late to pick up Max at the airport, but
it worked out. My flight ended up getting delayed anyway, so everything worked out.
So we got priorities, Max. Right. But Wax Cat, good to see you. William M. Tracy Powers saying, great job. Thank you for all you do. Bob's, your uncle. Good to see you. Bob's my man. Who else do I see here? Bigley, DW Bigley. Good to see you in the chat. Geraldo 24. Right now in history, Trump rallies is where it's at, cats. Melik Gregerson says, thanks Tom and Max, the whole RSBN team. Really appreciate the coverage when I'm able to watch. I do. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Really appreciate
Melik. Mike Baseman. P-Cell. Good to see you, P-Cell. 5 times champs. 5X champs too. Hey, I missed you guys in Charlotte, Tom. Well, maybe they were at the rally today, huh?
Yeah, sounds like it. Unfortunately, we weren't in Charlotte.
Can't be at every rally.
No, we can't, especially when they're all close together like this. We just got to be able to be here. Preset tomorrow morning is at 8:30, so we're definitely not able to be in 2 places at once.
Jim Adams, Moon Shadow, Marty G, good to see you in the chat. Lily Hager, good to see you, Lily. We hope you get to a rally sometime. I know you wanted to get to the one in Montana recently, but I know you couldn't make that one. But I know you're from Washington State, so maybe I know there was a rally there in the 2016 campaign in Washington State, and maybe we'll do another West Coast swing. But we're only down to 10 days here, so we're getting down to the last few days.
But that Rosendale election's close. Maybe
Matt
maybe you can
Rosendale.
get lucky and there not be another one close on that side. I don't know your situation, but maybe it can happen.
So Eagle David McLeod says, is RSBN going to cover midterm elections? Yes.
Yes, we will.
So there's going to be a special election night coverage of that. Tell us about it, Max.
Yes.
I know Alyssa's going to head that up.
So we actually have kind of set up a better studio space for multiple people in Opelika, Alabama, which is really right next to Auburn, where we will have a midterm election special. We're going to break down what we're seeing, bring you guys live coverage of results of some news that comes out of that day. Not 100% sure who will be there. I would know for a fact I'll be there, and I know Alyssa Ash, your weekly news recaps anchor, will be there as well. We might have some special guests, you never know, who in our crew will be there. It's possible Bailey Byers will be there. It's possible Liz will be there. You never know. The great Tom O'Neill might drop by. We don't know exactly how that'll work out. We don't know who will be there, but we do know that we will be bringing it to you guys, and more details are to come on when we go live. But stay tuned for that. There will be a midterm election special.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to election days like the Super Bowl of politics. So, we'll see who's left. We'll see who's got the energy left, after all these rallies. Who knows how many rallies we're going to have now, in the next 10 days. So, a couple more. I just want to say hello to Angela Ray and James Wynn, Germany. James from Germany. Joe Jack, good to see you in the chat. Roger Quarton. The Molden, Puppy Bonds, Californians need a Trump rally. Oh boy, that would be awesome.
Get rid of the liberals, and then you can.
Kenneth Vaughn, good to see you in the chat as well. So, I think we, covered everyone. Martin Marbles, good to see you in the chat. And so we're really looking forward to this rally tomorrow in Southern Illinois. It's another airport hangar, the Southern Illinois Airport. It's in Murphysboro, Illinois, right there at the southern tip of Illinois, right near the very bottom. We're going to be really close to Missouri and Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana. So we're going to have people traveling far and wide. We're only going to be 2 hours from Evansville, Indiana. We had a rally there, a couple months ago. So we're going to be pretty close. So we're going to see who shows up. We're going to see, who are some of the rally goers. We'll try to say hello and talk to them. We're going to see who some of the opening speakers are. At the rally in Houston, we saw Eric Trump and Laura Trump. So we'll see maybe someone from the Trump family. We know that there's a number of congressional seats that are competitive here in Illinois. Bruce Romer is the governor here in Illinois, Republican, and he's been leading the charge and trying to rejuvenate the party here. And so President Trump is coming here to endorse Congressman Mike Bost. So we'll see if that is helpful to him in the 12th Congressional District. So we'll see what happens. And we're really looking forward to bringing the whole rally to you on Right Side Broadcasting Network. We're grateful that you joined us tonight for our rally in Charlotte. And Alyssa and Liz and Alyssa and our RSBN cameraman, did a great job covering that rally, as they always do. And they're really, they are team one. They're going to the majority of the rallies, and they're doing a lot of work for you to bring it all to you. And really appreciate them. And we're just happy that we can give them a night off and give them a breather, I guess. But RSBN cameraman's going to be here in the morning, so we're going to be ready to go. And hopefully, we'll be able to do a little bit extra work to make his, work a little bit easier. But like I said, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon. So tune in. The rally begins at 4:30 Central Time. That's 5:30 Eastern. So tune in tomorrow to see the rally here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. And Max, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up with two thoughts really quick. First off, remember guys, there's the rally tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 is when President Trump will begin his remarks. Wednesday, Halloween, Fort Myers, Florida, right in my backyard, former backyard. So you guys in Florida with that tight governor race, be there in Fort Myers, just down the road from Florida Gulf Coast University. And also Thursday, November 1st in Columbia, Missouri.
Home of the University of Missouri.
Yeah.
Tigers.
I'm not going to be at that one, but I really should be. Wear my Auburn tie and kind of just show off that beautiful orange and blue colors that you guys know you love, War Eagle. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We can't wait to see you tomorrow in the cold here in Southern Illinois for Mike Bost in the airplane hangar at Southern Illinois Airport, 4:30. Again, I can't emphasize that enough because it is not in the evening like it usually is. So thank you guys so much, and we hope you have a great night.
Good night.